How's it going, everybody? It's Zach from Off the Podium, and today I'm going to take you through my process of going into ranked play. I'm currently ranked Diamond 1. My peak is Crimson 1 in previous ranked play iterations. I'm going to take you through my warm-up, and then after that, we're going to jump into whatever the first match is, and we're going to talk through the good, the bad, the ugly, and at the end of the game, we'll have a full recap looking through the stats and where I ended up on the scoreboard, whether we won or lost. But this is all about general feedback on me and just my series for myself on how I can improve and rank up in ranked play in Black Ops 7. So first things first, we are going to do some bot killing. So we're going to change it over to free-for-all, and we are going to click the plus button here. We're going to add 11 recruit bots. We're going to click confirm here. Going to go to the map. I like to do it on Scar because it has a wide range of engagement ranges, all the way from extremely long range on the airplane side to close range in like shop and mid, around motel. I usually like to use the M15 as my warm-up weapon, and we'll talk more about what I like to do in-game once we get there. For my settings, I'm going to set it to 10 minutes, 1,000 points, and a 5-second match start timer. I am going to turn my radar always on for constant, and that's about it as far as the settings. I've already created my class. My class is here. This is my competitive class right now, so it is the Lethal Tools ELO, the Fusion Barrel, Peregrine Grip, Wonder Stock, and Buffer Springs. The first thing that I do in this matchup is I'm going to focus on high accuracy and high movement the entire time I play. I am only going to burst fire my gun for the minimum amount of bullets required to kill each bot. Now that's going to be anywhere from 4 to 6 bullets if I'm basically hitting all my shots. So for instance, you'll kind of see. So I'm playing a lot different than how I would in game because I'm just trying to activate my aim. So I'm practicing being accurate over just spraying and praying. Now I chose recruit bots because I'm not trying to die all the time. I'm simply just trying to practice my aim as if these were just moving target practice bots. So you can see that I'm still bursting. That way it's also saving me ammo, and if I have perfect aim, I should be getting anywhere from 3 to 4 kills per magazine. And I'm trying to get, what the kids like to say, cracked out by using the movement to my advantage here. I'm just trying to be able to lock onto targets as quickly as I can. And once I lock on, then I begin shooting. I'm not going to start shooting until my reticle is on the target. So if I don't, if my reaction time is a little bit slower, that's not the point of the drill. The point of the drill is to become as accurate as possible. I love that I say as soon as I'm trying to be accurate, I miss shots. That's how it is. So I like to shoot about 100 bots, and then after the bots, then I will jump into ranked play. I'm going to confirm that my class is still the correct class setup. Once we get in here into ranked play, make sure that I didn't accidentally change any attachments, because you don't want to be practicing with a different gun than you use in-game. That basically defeats the purpose because these recoil patterns will change based on the attachment you use. So right now I'm at 31 bot kills, and I'm continue until I basically get to 100. Now, it'll feel like a lot. It may feel like a lot the first time, but the more you get used to spinning around, getting the eliminations, and if you're playing at the correct pace where you're moving constantly, you're going to go through those relatively quickly. Now, if you set your game time to 10 minutes, it's kind of like a race for yourself to improve your pace and also try not to die as much. So like you're probably noticing, so sometimes I'm not immediately shooting. That's not because I'm like thinking about shooting. I'm making the conscious decision to make sure I'm on target first before I shoot. And you kind of use your peripheral vision, so you can practice like moving before aiming here. with your right stick, get on target, then aim in, then shoot, since we're working on accuracy. Now your accuracy should be much higher than normal in this. I try to shoot anywhere between 50 and 60%. And my normal accuracy is anywhere between 25 and 33%. So it's basically double. Accuracy is at 58%. So yeah, in between my 50 to 60% marker, that's kind of where I want to sit. And it'll basically get cut in half once you get into the game because people are going to be moving differently. They're not going to be sitting there waiting for you to kill them. So I'm at 67 kills. Now, I know that I'm not a pro player, so you can take all the advice, of course, with a grain of salt. You know, do whatever is best for you. Other drills that I've done in the past to practice staying on target is I have done where I've like doubled and tripled the health. I've put shields on the bots to make sure if I notice myself not being able to control the recoil on targets, bump up the bot health, and then you have to stay on target more because the bots are going to have higher health values. So it's also something you can do if you're working on like sustained fire drills, if you want to work on your recoil pattern control. But for the most part, the M15, when you're shooting, is going to go up and to the left. And so for the most part, unless you're like fully emptying your clip, just pull down slightly on the right thumbstick, and you're basically going to stay center. Just realize once you get towards the end of the clip, if you're just laying it down, you're going to have to push down and to the right slightly. Going to make sure I maintain the intensity in the drill. I kind of slowed down there as I was explaining stuff, but I need to get to my 100 kills so that I feel warm. I have gone more in the past, but you want to get to a point where you know where you're not getting diminishing returns. You want maximum efficiency for maximum time, because if you're someone like me, you have a full-time job, and I don't necessarily think that shooting bots is a fun use of my time, but I do understand it's necessary if you're going to play in higher elos that your aim needs to be warmed up. Because you're going to be playing against these kids that are cracked out of their minds, and this is a good way to get you started. All right. So in a 10-minute match, 113 kills, 116 kills. That's pretty standard. All right, guys, so we're in ranked. Looks like we're going to play Scar Hardpoint as our match after our warm-up. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to talk about breakoffs and spawn ideas, blocking spawns, important kills, and I'm also going to call out my own mistakes. And if you see other mistakes or other good plays, leave them down in the comment section. But we're going to get into it. All right, so off the break, I am going to go down plain side long and immediately go for a white wall flank, possibly get some cleanup kills. I got to make sure that they're not top blue. I got to make sure I play some headies before I go to white wall.
Hardpoint. Secure the objective.
So first, I'm going to check to make sure they don't push here. Okay, they're not pushing here. I got a teammate with me. Make sure they're not top blue. Got to pick up this cleanup kill. Got him. Nice. Our teammates are getting the kills. Picking up the bus kill.
We control the hard point.
Okay, I'm going to make sure that they're going to spawn. They're going to spawn top green. I'm going to watch that. Oh, we're getting counter pinched. Got him. I'm just holding bottom blue right now because I don't want them to get this spawn, because eventually we need to stay on the lower side. It's actually easier to hold the lower side of P3. P2 is a little bit more challenging, but that's not a terrible thing to have to fight from this side. I honestly think it's harder to fight from top green side.
Hardpoint locked down.
Okay, so now I'm going to activate a pinch. And I'm just going to stay alive. Name of the game is Stay Alive for my team. I'm going to back up. Make sure they don't spawn back here. Oh, I just got naded. Okay, we're still spawning back blue. That's correct. Oh my gosh. Okay, since I'm almost out of ammo, I'm going to push this and see if I can get this guy off spawn.
Hardpoint locked down.
All right. So my ideology, when we go from P2 to P3, which goes across the map, my idea is that you need to hold the bottom spawns, make sure they don't push through. That way you can secure the spawns for P4. I also think it's easier to block mid from this side than it is top green side. So I'm going to continue to hold this. I am not going to push up past mid cut because I do not want us to spawn out. So I'm going to make sure that we block here. This is a very important part of this hill, is you have to stay alive for this back hill. I may not even contest P3 as a spawn blocker. And it looks like they may have pushed through shop and got a good timing. We did spawn out, so now I'm basically gonna have to do the same thing to them. So this is that's kind of a big blunder for me. I should have kept my eyes on the front the whole time. Okay, I need to try to break this guy. I don't know where he went. Okay. Okay, I need to hold the back. Oh, top green. I mean, top blue. Gotta make sure they don't. Alright, so he's getting the back. That was kind of a misplay for me. I was trying to just pre-fire him. I thought he was going to push me earlier, but he didn't. Okay. So if you look, there's only 20 seconds left in this hill. You definitely want to start rotating at this point. I'm probably going to have to kill some early rotators, more than likely, because we are playing this pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and trophy up here. I am playing strictly for spawns and area denial. That is my role this game. My teammates are going to get more kills than me, but that's not the goal. The goal is to win. I'm just making sure we spawn back here. Which we are spawning back here, so now I'm going to push mid-cut and try to get spawners and try to kill people from going up in top green like that. And somehow we flipped. The guy in hill must have gone back rather than hold the hill, so now we're spawning out. This is kind of hard whenever you don't have really communication from your teammates. So there wasn't someone constantly blocking, but I'm just going to pick it up. If I can prevent them from playing the hill, that's good. The more I'm keeping them busy there, the time that they're not on the hill. So that could have been a lot worse than it was. So now we're going into the second rotation. I don't know where that guy went. Oh, he went straight into hill. Okay, so we're spawning top green. Now, top green is an important power position for this hill. You have to stay alive as long as you can in top green, otherwise spawns are going to get really wonky. Now, like I said in the first rotation, it's not terribly bad to have the bottom spawns. In fact, I actually prefer it, but if you do want to play for top green spawns, you do have to stay in top green for them to not spawn behind you.
Hostiles have the hard point. Hard point located.
Okay, so motel popped early. We did not rotate, so now we're gonna be on the back foot here. We just got top motel. So I did a bad job of that rotation, holding and blocking spawns. I should have kept to my role. Oh, teammate just walked right through that. Okay. My teammates are kind of getting spit on right now, so I may need to pick up the pace, and hopefully one of my teammates will kind of take over my role, because I'm shooting relatively well right now. However, the pacing for the team is just a little bit too slow. I don't know if we have anyone using a submachine gun. So gonna see if I can... Come on, team. Okay, there we go. Nice. Okay, so we got one guy with the sub. I'm gonna pull out the sub as well. I'm gonna change my role now. I'm gonna switch over to playing cutoffs with the submachine gun.
Hardpoint is active.
So my goal here is to keep them from getting to hill.
We control the hardpoint.
Now that guy playing knows that he's flanking. Too bad he completely whiffed all of his shots. But that was the correct play. He just whiffed big time. So now
Have the hardpoint.
I need to try and stay alive for my team. I'm going to get in the hill.
Hardpoint locked
Okay,
down.
now we're still spawning back lower, so they're probably going to try and cut.
This is ours.
Wow, that's frustrating. Okay, so one did push through motel to go to bottom P4. Once again, we spawned out at the worst time possible.
Hardpoint located.
They're doing a really good job of making our deaths bad deaths. And what I mean by that is us dying, but dying at the wrong time. There are good deaths and bad deaths, and dying right before the rotation of a new hill spawns,
The lead. Widen the gap.
those are bad deaths.
Hardpoint contested.
So I know right now that I don't have a lot of hill time, and that's mainly because the role that I was trying to play for my team was I was playing mostly for rotations and blocking, which is not going to lend itself to having a whole lot of hill time. However, I can play a little bit more in the objective. That's kind of why I'm adjusting my playstyle for the second half of the game. This game is very close. I think we're going to be able to pull out the win, but we got to get some good time here on P5.
Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint locked down.
Gotta make sure. Okay, our teammates are picking it up. See? So, like, I put my trust in my teammates a little bit. I'm worried that they're gonna come top green. Which they are. They're top green right now. We are still getting the time, so now we're tied up again. But they're gonna spawn in the back now.
Hardpoint contested. Falling apart. Go.
So now I'm gonna try and hold this.
Hardpoint. Hostile personnel have captured the hardpoint. We control the hardpoint.
My accuracy with the Dravik is not as good as the M15, but I do see myself getting in the mix more, which for my team, that is better. My aim is really bad right now. So I think if I would have focused a little bit more and done a little bit more aim training as my warm-up, I probably would be a little bit more successful right now, but it's not bad. It's good enough to keep me in the game, but not good enough for me to be railing the enemy team, unfortunately. I'm just trying to think on my rotations so that I can play better for my team. I think they're spawning mid-cut.
Hostile personnel have captured the hardpoint. We control the hardpoint.
Nice, that should be a trade. Teammate should get some hill time in there. Nice. I do need to rotate because we're probably going to get contested just a little bit.
Contesting hardpoint.
And I'm going to be here for the win.
Hostile personnel have captured the hardpoint.
GG.
Hardpoint is active. You are catching eyes over here. Keep up the effort.
So teammates did really, really well. Most of that game I was playing rotations for like 2/3 of it. So my hill time's a little bit lower. I was trying to play blocking. I feel like I was moderately successful. However, I did see myself having more of an impact as soon as I switched over to the submachine gun, which ended up, I think, helping us win the game. So yeah, like I immediately could tell that my aim was not nearly as good as it normally is. I'm sitting here at 23% accuracy, which is way under my normal values between anywhere from about 29 to 33%. So I'm shooting 6% less accurately, which means I'm losing more gunfights and I'm possibly costing my teammates more deaths because if I'm not killing them off the cut, they're getting to hill and they're killing my teammates. So I have to be really careful about maintaining accuracy even through more higher pressure situations. I do think that I did a relatively good job creating impact outside of the hill to help my teammates that are in the hill do a better job. But overall, not a bad game. Even though I was bottom of the leaderboard for my team, we still won, and that's the important thing.